42% of law firms say that intake is their number one operational bottleneck. 35% of potential clients never even hear back after their first contact. The average law firm loses 3+ hours of billable time on every new case file. No, I'm not just making these statistics up. The first two were from Clio Legal Trends report, and the second one was from the AVA Tech report. The intake is the growth engine to your firm, the one input that scales everything downstream, from leads and inquiries to matters opened to active caseload to the cases that are settled and billed. This means your intake volume is up, your conversion speed is up, your revenue per lawyer is up, and your entire revenue as a whole is up. It's actually quite simple. Huge volume increases and revenue increases are a direct consequence of using automated intake. The fastest and the most surefire way to grow your firm and bring it to the next level is automated intake. Every law firm I talk to says that intake is where files get lost, deadlines get missed, and paralegal hours disappear. So today I'm going to show you how AI handles the entire thing. So you have Claude Code, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have chat and you have the cowork. For today's motive, we're going to be using cowork, and it says, how can I help you today? So let's say I'm a lawyer working at a personal injury firm, and I have already created a plugin. Now, a plugin is just, in simple words, packaged extensions that extend Claude's capabilities, particularly within the Claude Cowork and the Claude Code. So I've created my own plugin, which is Clio, and I have all these skills, different skills that I've created myself. I will be putting all these skills in the description so you can use them too. So I'm here in our cowork and I'm a lawyer. I have my Clio account connected to my Claude, and I'm just going to prioritize, and I do that. So the reason I ran prioritize is that I started a new chat, so I want to reestablish my connection back slash prioritize what exactly the skill is. I'll explain to you. It goes through my Clio account and tells me what is due, when it's due, what times are coming up, etc. So here's my Clio priority snapshot for the week of July 23rd. There's nothing overdue. My queue is cleared this week. No tasks due, no calendar entries, no matters approaching, no standing bills. And I've got a high priority task that sits, which is a matter. So it's told me that I need to send the retainer to client for a signature. So now that I've reestablished my connection, I'm going to type in backslash Clio, and Legal Suite is essentially a plugin. Now, plugins are packaged extensions that, in essence, customize and extend Claude's capabilities, particularly within Claude Cowork and Claude Code. So I'm gonna go Clio, and within my plugins, and we'll get more into that, I have all these skills. So I'm gonna do new matter because I'm opening a new matter. And for the sake of time and for this video, and in spirit of the new Spider-Man movie coming, I'm just gonna dictate this into the mic. Client is Peter Parker. Date of birth, April 5th, 1998. Occupation, he is a photojournalist at the Daily Bugle with an annual income of $54,000. Incident date is May 12th, 2026. The location is Yonge Street and Eglinton Avenue, Toronto, Ontario. What happened was that Peter was stopped at a red light when Norman Osborn rear-ended him at approximately 60 kilometers per hour in a 50 kilometers per hour zone. Osborn was charged with careless driving under the HDA. He drives a 2024 Ford F-150 insured to Intact Insurance. The claim number is hashtag INT20268841. Peter's vehicle was a 2022 Honda Civic, and he has injuries to the lower back pain and reported headaches. He is currently going to the Toronto Western Hospital ER and is referred to Dr. Amara Osai. He is insured by Aviva Canada, and the limitation date is May 12th, 2028. So now that I'm done, oops. So now that I'm done, I have all of this created, and I'm gonna try and move this over here and go type in new or Clio new matter. Perfect. And I'm gonna send this. I'm surprised that it got all of that because usually my mic is pretty bad. It's good time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna explain to you what these skills are, what the plugin is, what's happening behind the scenes. So, basically what I did was I spoke in plain English into the mic as you heard. I described the client. I was very specific about the details, and what it does is it uses the Clio as a core engine, and it is connected through an API to Claude Cowork, where I have allowed permission for Claude Cowork to basically read and write into Clio. I can manage these permissions whenever. And the what happens is there's for matter creation, there's four skills. There's new matter, PI matter, family matter, and real estate matter. We use the new matter today. There's daily operations. What it does is prioritize rank to do for today, which is the first one we use to establish that connection and basically see what's due for us today. Clio task, we want to create task, Clio calendar, time entry, Clio billing. Lookup is Clio search, matters contacts, documents, Clio contacts, find or add clients and parties. What it does is the output is Clio doc, which it creates an intake map, matter summary, closing checklist. I have a dashboard that is essentially a live caseload grid and shows me what's due. And we'll get to that later. So this is basically all the skills. Now I've explained to you what a plugin is and you know what all these skills are inside the plugin and essentially how this automation is working. So all the contacts and the matters and tasks and time and bills are created for you. I have a dashboard.html that is refreshed on demand from live site and it only posts, so it's confidential. Nothing is built without you. So back to Claude, it has asked me this question, how should I create this matter in Clio? I'm gonna do PI template. Um, and again, it's just a bit of a wait. And so now while it's running and I've remembered something or you've sort of remembered something that you haven't said, you can always type it in. So I'm gonna do Clio and billing. So I'll do log 0.75 hours, and I want to log it as initial intake, file opening, and document preparation. So the task left is I have to send retainer to client for signature. The priority is high and pending. So let's so if I keep remembering things, I can always keep queuing it while it's running. And here that the matter is fully set up. So let's go over to our Clio account and check whether this is true. It says the matter created is 002 00027. This is my dashboard, as you can see. Nothing interesting going on here. I can go into my matters on the left and whoa, so many matters. Dr. Lawyer. And there we go. 00027 Peter Parker. I click on this and see if all the details we said have been uploaded here too. So again, we've just put in the billing stuff, so it's not really loaded up. There is Peter Parker motor vehicle accident, incident date. So there are some things it doesn't say, and we have to make sure we always have to double check the OCDF is not submitted. So I said, sorry about that. I said my incident date was May 12th, 2026. I'm just going to type that in here. May 12th is 05 206 and click confirm. Let's go down. Unfortunately, click account and have an individual account. I cannot directly push the documents from Clio, but if I had that pro version, I would be able to do that. So for now, I have all these notes and that it's essentially gathering from the documents itself. This is Norman Osborn, it's today, facts, client stopped at a red light, everything we said basically. So this is where we left off at Claude Cowork. This is my last message to Claude, and it ran it, and it said both actions are logged. So double check that in Clio in just a minute. Then I asked Claude where are all my documents for Peter, and I also gave it some sample documents to match, and it created all these documents. So let's go through every single document. This is the intake memo as used. Again, I've given it specific instructions for the letterhead, and this is Smith and Associates is just a made up firm that I'm using for this scenario. So I've given Claude Smith and Associates designs, what it does, how it creates that sample documents, and it has come out and created this. So this is the intake document. Let's see if it's got everything correct. Oh, and right here you can see I've also scheduled a task, which we'll get to in a second. Um, anyways, it has gotten all the details right, and narrative is also correct. It's got the doctor correct as well. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna go to the next one. This is the letter of representation, and the next one after that is the medical records, and which is just an authorization for release of medical records. And the retainer agreement, which is also one of the most important documents we have, is the contingency retainer agreement. It's got all of that too. So we're back in Clio on Peter's case, and in the time you can see here that we've charged at 0.75 hours, and my hourly rate for myself on Clio was set to $150, so it has calculated that as well. Now you'll notice that the time says it is non-billable, and that's intentional because this is a personal injury file, and our AI work is usually done on contingency. We don't bill the client by the hour, or usually law firms don't bill the client by the hour. They just charge a percentage of the whole settlement. So we are tracking as a law firm our time to see how much work is going into each file. But again, Clio keeps it out of billable, work in progress. So there's no hourly invoice going into the client. So if this was an hourly matter, I would flip the matter to billable, and the same thing would flow straight into billing. And we click on our notes and see all the tasks that Claude has created for me. And this is it's following a standard procedure. So these are all the tasks I would have to do for a personal injury case or a motor vehicle accident case. And it's gotten all these tasks. Now, some of these tasks can also be automated within the core. What I can do is, for example, a demand letter preparation. I'm gonna link a, I'm gonna leave a link to my previous video in which I used Claude AI to create that package for me, and we can integrate that automation into the one we have right now to essentially prepare a demand letter for us. And this is not just applicable to personal injury firms, but all firms in general. And now finally, I want to show you a dashboard that I've created that is integrated to my Clio account and automatically refreshes every hour. So you can see the history when it's refreshed, the instructions, etc. And I've gone and scheduled tasks and created a task from here. So if you want to see the dashboard, I'm going to pull it up right now. So this is my dashboard that is pulling the data exactly from Clio, and I can refresh this whenever I want. It shows me the matters by practice area, matters by litigation state, tracked value, ours tracked, how many tasks are pending, how many open matters I have, what's due. I can obviously um, customize this based on the firm's needs, and for now, this is what the firm needs. So let's cross-reference this with our Clio. I have 25 open matters. I'm gonna go to my matters. I'm gonna go to open, and I have 25 open matters right here. And now I have 14 pending tasks, so I'm gonna go on tasks and outstanding. tasks that are all related to the Peter Parker case, as well as some from the Morgan case, which is for Morgan, it's just to send retainer to the client. For Peter, because it's a personal injury case, it has all the other tasks that Claude has created for me, and that's correct too. So this dashboard lives on my local computer, but it's pulling this data from Clio every hour, and I can also refresh it manually whenever I want. And finally, if you're a lawyer or a law firm that is more interested in learning more about how AI can be integrated into your systems and save you time and money, please feel free to connect with me using the link in the description below. Thank you, and see you in the next video.